Hanan Razak there. Well, Dr. Zahra Jamal is Associate Director of the Boniuk Institute for Religious Tolerance at Rice University and joins me now from Houston. Welcome to you. Thanks very much for being with us. What impact will this decision to restrict massively the number of people allowed to take part in the Hajj have on Muslims around the world, do you think, and their relationship with Saudi Arabia?
Yes, so I think that many Muslims were aggrieved to learn that there have been severe curtailments to the number of pilgrims allowed. Many of them had been saving for a lifetime to be able to go. But at the same time, one of the central tenets of Islam is the sacrality of life and its protection. So arguably, the most Islamic thing that a Muslim can do during a pandemic this year is to not go on Hajj and to stay home. And I think in that regard, they are probably quite happy with the fact that the Saudi government has decided to put some restrictions on the Hajj.
Do they seem like the right restrictions? They do seem extremely detailed, don't they?
They do, absolutely, but this is a virus that we know very little about. And because there are multiple strains, it is difficult to track and trace. We don't have a cure. We don't have a means for eradication. I think having this level of detail of biometric data is actually beneficial to the medical officials globally because we could perhaps learn a lot more about it. So I think it's worthwhile.
We were hearing in that report about the huge financial loss Saudi Arabia will take with the big hit because of the lack of people that are going to be there. Obviously, Saudi Arabia is a very oil-rich country, but will this affect them economically?
I think certainly there are going to be repercussions for it. It is a major part of their income, this industry. But at the same time, the kingdom has been very generous. So this year, for example, none of the pilgrims have to pay their own way. The Saudi government is paying for the meals and accommodations and transport for all of the pilgrims.
There have been issues in the past with the huge numbers of people that have taken part in the Hajj, with pretty much most years crushings, people dying because of, overcrowding and other issues. Do you think now that there's going to be such a scaled back Hajj this year that will have a knock-on for future years?
I think that's a very good question. My sense is that once we are in a post-pandemic phase, probably not. The Saudi government has put a lot of effort and energy into expanding the space around the Kaaba. In fact, this year, 2020, was meant to see up to 3 million pilgrims before the pandemic hit. And in off-peak years, or off-peak months, up to 15 million pilgrims are expected to be seen. So I think we will see actually an expansion of the numbers going forward after the pandemic is solved.
Very interesting. Thanks very much for being with us, Dr. Zahra Jamal.
My pleasure.